It's deeply hurtful when someone you care about treats you like you don't matter. You've probably felt the sting of their indifference, the ache of their unresponsiveness, and the sadness that comes when they don't reciprocate your feelings the way you wish they would. These emotions can feel overwhelming, but here's a truth that might surprise you. The situation can change. It's not as complicated as it may seem. Just like the seasons change, so too can your relationship dynamic. But first, you need to understand that the power to create this change lies within you. Before we dive into the strategies that will help you transform your relationship, let's take a moment to examine how you currently perceive your specific person. Ask yourself the following questions. Do you see your specific person as someone who is more important than you? Do you regard them as perfect or extraordinary, someone without flaws? Do you believe they could easily find someone better than you? Do you think that your needs and desires are less important than theirs? Do you feel like you're not good enough for them? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you've likely placed your specific person on a pedestal. This might seem harmless or even romantic, but it's one of the primary reasons why you're experiencing pain and disappointment in your relationship. We've all done it at some point, placing someone we admire on a pedestal. Whether it's a celebrity, an influential person, or someone we're romantically interested in, it's easy to become enamored with their qualities to the point where we see them as superior. This act of idolization creates an imbalance in how we perceive the relationship. We begin to view the person as flawless while simultaneously seeing ourselves as unworthy or inadequate. Think back to the last time you had a crush. How did you perceive that person? Chances are you saw them as perfect, without any flaws. You admired them from afar, feeling shy or nervous whenever they were around. You probably found yourself trying to impress them, worrying about how you looked or what you said. And when they didn't respond in the way you hoped, it felt like a personal failure. This dynamic is not just common, it's almost universal, but it's also the root cause of many relationship problems. When you place someone on a pedestal, you inadvertently create a power imbalance. You see them as being above you, and this affects how you interact with them. You might find yourself constantly trying to win their approval, suppressing your own needs and desires, and living in a state of anxiety about losing them. Perception plays a powerful role in relationships. How you see yourself and how you see the other person shapes the entire dynamic of your interaction. When you perceive someone as being on a higher level than you start to behave differently around them. You might become overly concerned with how they see you, and as a result you may change your behavior in ways that don't align with who you truly are. For example, you might find yourself doing things you wouldn't normally do just to get their attention. You might downplay your own achievements or opinions because you fear they won't be appreciated. You might even start to believe that you're not good enough for them, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and a constant fear of rejection. This kind of thinking can create a negative feedback loop. The more you see yourself as inferior, the more you start to believe it. And because our thoughts shape our reality, this belief begins to manifest in your interactions with your specific person. You might notice that they start to treat you with less respect, or that they become less responsive to your needs. This isn't because they're inherently superior or because you're not good enough. It's because you've unconsciously created a narrative where this is the case. The first step to changing this dynamic is to recognize that you've placed your specific person on a pedestal, and then consciously work to remove them from it. This doesn't mean you have to think less of them or stop appreciating their good qualities. Instead, it means that you need to start seeing them as a normal, flawed human being, just like you. Begin by changing the story you tell yourself about this person. Instead of viewing them as perfect and out of reach, start seeing them as someone who is lucky to have you in their life. Shift your focus from their perceived perfection to your own worth and value. You are an important person with unique qualities that deserve to be appreciated and respected. Changing your perception is not just about thinking differently, it's about creating a new narrative that reflects the reality you want to experience. This narrative needs to be something you believe in, something that resonates with you on a deep level. Let's explore what this new narrative might look like. Affirm your value. Start by affirming your own worth. Remind yourself daily that you are a person who deserves love, respect, and admiration. Tell yourself, I am valuable. I bring unique qualities to the relationship, and I deserve to be treated with love and respect. See your specific person as equal. Instead of placing your specific person above you, see them as an equal partner. Acknowledge that they have flaws and insecurities just like everyone else. This will help you interact with them from a place of confidence rather than fear or anxiety. Focus on mutual respect. Create a narrative where both you and your specific person treat each other with mutual respect and appreciation. Imagine a relationship where both parties value each other's opinions, support each other's goals, and show affection in meaningful ways. Visualize positive interactions. Visualization is a powerful tool. Spend time each day visualizing positive interactions with your specific person. See them responding to you with kindness and affection, appreciating your presence in their life and valuing your opinions. This new narrative is not just about thinking differently. It's about changing the energy you bring into the relationship. When you start to see yourself as someone who is worthy of love and respect, you'll naturally begin to attract those qualities from others. Your self-concept, or the way you see yourself, is the foundation of all your relationships. It influences how you interact with others, how you react to situations, and even how others perceive you. If your self-concept is rooted in insecurity or low self-worth, it will reflect in your relationships. Here's the good news. Your self-concept is not fixed. It can be changed, just like any other belief or habit. The key is to start seeing yourself in a more positive light. This doesn't mean ignoring your flaws or pretending to be perfect. It means recognizing your inherent worth and focusing on your strengths rather than your weaknesses. Steps to improve your self-concept. First, identify limiting beliefs. The first step to improving your self-concept is to identify the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. These might be beliefs like I'm not good enough, I don't deserve love, or I'm not as important as my specific person. Write these beliefs down and challenge them. Ask yourself, is this really true, or where did this belief come from? Next, replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations. Once you've identified your limiting beliefs, it's time to replace them with positive affirmations. These are statements that reflect the reality you want to create. For example, if you struggle with feelings of inadequacy, you might affirm, I am enough just as I am, or I am worthy of love and respect. Then practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself as you go through this process. Remember, everyone has flaws and makes mistakes. What's important is that you learn from them and continue to grow. Practice self-compassion by treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a close friend. Also, surround yourself with positivity. The people you surround yourself with can have a significant impact on your self-concept. Seek out relationships and environments that uplift you rather than bring you down. Spend time with people who see your value and appreciate you for who you are. Engage in activities that boost your confidence. Confidence comes from doing things that challenge you and help you grow. Engage in activities that make you feel good about yourself, whether it's pursuing a hobby, learning a new skill, or taking on a new challenge at work. The more you accomplish, the more confident you'll become. Finally, visualize your ideal self. Spend time each day visualizing your ideal self. See yourself as confident, successful, and deserving of love and respect. Imagine how this version of you would act, think, and feel in different situations. The more you visualize this ideal self, the more you'll start to embody those qualities in your everyday life. The importance of a mental diet. To solidify these changes, it's essential to go on what I like to call a mental diet. This doesn't involve restricting food, it's about being mindful of the thoughts you allow yourself to entertain. Just as you would choose healthy foods to nourish your body, you need to choose positive thoughts that will nourish your mind. Think of it like this. When you're on a food diet, you're mindful of what you eat because you know that what you consume directly affects your health. If you constantly indulge in junk food, you're going to feel sluggish and unhealthy. But if you focus on eating nutritious foods, you'll feel energized and strong. The same principle applies to your thoughts. If you constantly entertain negative thoughts, you're going to feel insecure, anxious, and unhappy. But if you focus on positive, empowering thoughts, you'll feel confident, secure, and content. How to implement a mental diet? Be aware of your thoughts. The first step in a mental diet is becoming aware of your thoughts. Throughout the day, pay attention to what you're thinking. Are your thoughts mostly positive or negative? Do you spend a lot of time worrying or doubting yourself? Simply becoming aware of your thought patterns is the first step to changing them. Challenge negative thoughts. When a negative thought arises, don't just accept it as truth, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Or is there another way to look at this situation? Often, simply questioning a negative thought can weaken its power over you. Replace negative thoughts with positive ones. After challenging a negative thought, replace it with a positive one. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good enough for them, you might replace it with, I am worthy of love and respect. The more you practice this, the easier it will become. Focus on what you want to create. Instead of dwelling on what's wrong, focus on what you want to create in your life. Spend time each day visualizing your ideal relationship, your ideal self, and the life you want to live. The more you focus on what you want, the more likely you are to create it. Limit exposure to negative influences. Just as you would avoid junk food on a diet, avoid consuming negative influences in your mental diet. This might mean limiting your exposure to negative news, social media, or people who bring you down. Surround yourself with positivity and inspiration instead. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool for shifting your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. Each day, take a few moments to reflect on the things you're grateful for. This simple practice can help you cultivate a more positive outlook and attract more of what you want into your life. The power of persistence and patience. One of the most important aspects of this journey is persistence. Change doesn't happen overnight, and it's essential to be patient with yourself as you go through this process. There will be times when you slip back into old habits or negative thoughts. When this happens, don't be hard on yourself. Simply recognize what's happening and then gently steer your thoughts back to your new narrative. It's also important to remember that everyone's journey is unique. Some people may see changes quickly, while others may take more time. What matters most is that you stay committed to the process. The more consistent you are with your mental diet and your new story, the more you'll begin to see the changes you desire manifesting in your reality. Embracing a new reality. As you continue to work on your self-concept and maintain a positive mental diet, you'll begin to notice shifts in your reality. You might find that your specific person starts treating you with more respect and affection. You may notice that you feel more confident and secure in your interactions with them. And perhaps most importantly, you'll start to see yourself in a new light, as someone who is deserving of love, respect, and happiness. This transformation isn't just about improving your relationship with your specific person, it's about improving your relationship with yourself. When you learn to see yourself as valuable and worthy, it changes everything. You start to attract better relationships, better opportunities, and a better quality of life overall. Conclusion: the journey to self-love and empowerment. The pain of feeling insignificant or unimportant in a relationship can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to define your experience. By recognizing the power of your thoughts and the stories you tell yourself, you can take control of your reality and create the life and relationships you want. Start by removing your specific person from the pedestal you've placed them on and begin to see them as a normal, flawed human being. Then craft a new narrative where you are valued, loved, and respected. Commit to a mental diet that supports this new story and be patient with yourself as you work to make these changes. With time, persistence, and a focus on positive thoughts, you'll begin to see a transformation in how you feel about yourself and how your specific person interacts with you. Remember, the power to change your reality is within you. Embrace it and watch as your life begins to shift in amazing ways.